What's going on, everyone? So I wanted to share these conflicting rumored reports that are coming out against rumor, and because it perfectly highlights why I keep saying, you always take this stuff with a grain of salt. It's fun to dive into. It's fun to explore different possibilities, and we'll touch on that here more in a moment. But I want to just share what was reported. So per Scream Spain, filming for Scream 7 will finally begin in January 2025 in Atlanta. This was confirmed to me personally by a member of the team. Then you got Daniel Richtman, Daniel RPK, who he's kind of been one of the big leakers for Scream over the last few Screams, said that that's incorrect, right? So now Scream Spain is somebody that has reported and been an insider in the world of Scream and has gotten stuff right and stuff. And same thing with Daniel RPK, but now you have conflicting. So is it not in December? Is it not in January? What's going on here? And then you even have people like Critical Overlord who, basically reshared Daniel RPK's reports, and Critical Overlord is another guy that has shared inside information and updates on various franchises and stuff. Many people go to him for that kind of insider information and just his opinion on things and stuff. And then you get Scream News sharing, according to Scream Spain, the filming of Scream 7 will start this January in Atlanta and not in December due to some scheduling conflicts of Kevin Williamson. So again, another report that many people go to basically stay update with Scream News and information. And again, this is another great example and highlight of the why I try to make it so, such a point of hey, take this with a grain of salt. Nothing's confirmed until it's confirmed. I say it multiple times, pretty much every video, unless, I'm clearly just giving a rumor, but, or my opinion or exploring an idea or something. But even then, I relay hey, this is just my idea. This is just an idea. What do you think? Right? Because there is, and you see this roller coaster with Scream and all these franchises, really. But, you see these roller coasters of oh, this is happening, and that is happening, and this is happening. And then there's conflicting reports that are all over the place. And it's you hear reports for example, the opening scene is supposed to be a significant personal, death to Sidney Prescott and all this stuff. And it's just okay, well, then you get a report that's oh, but Mark and the kids are not going to be in the kill. So it's okay, well, then who's that significant report, right? Maybe it'll all make sense, but, it's just, there's things that you'll get and you'll see where it's just when you really think about, it's how can this happen if this happens, right? Now, is it possible that they figure it out and make it work? Sure, but and look, maybe that's what this is. Maybe there's a happy medium. Maybe they will start filming in December, and then maybe there's a little break in hiatus and they start in January, or maybe it's December 29th. And, and so it basically is January, right? It's just, you never know until it happens. Until we actually see them start filming, we're not going to know for certain who's right and who's not. Until we actually see the film or the trailer, and it, of course, spoils stuff like all trailers do nowadays. You're not going to really know what the deal is, right? Again, it's fun. Why do I dive into these reports and these rumors stuff? Because it's fun conversation starters. It gives us all something to talk about and generates hype and excitement for the upcoming Scream film, right? It's basically marketing for the film, right? And because I want it to have success, because the more success it has, the more Scream movies we're going to get. And I'm a Scream fan. It's my favorite horror franchise ever. I've built the back on this channel on it, right? So to me, it's just, I want people to always just take things not necessarily at face value, because there's a lot of people that saw, those reports about January, right? And that's all they know, and that's it. And they're just running with it. And then they're telling people, and then there's people that saw the reports, oh, it's not real. And it gets so convoluted to where it's okay, well, what is real? What is not? And not just that, it's such a small variance, right? Okay, they're filming in December. When in December? December 1st? December 30th? December 31st, do they start? Because then, yeah, it's basically January. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just these little nuances, but you see that all the time. And then you just have people that just share information just to make stuff up and pass it off as real. I mean, there's all kinds of Reddit threads and posts and people that, I read the script. Here's the script. And, they're making fake scripts and they're doing all this stuff. Like, people want the engagement. They want the stuff, which is, fine. I think you should do it with a little more transparency, right? Like, hey, I came up with a creative script for, how I think Scream 7 should play out. And here it is. Not like, here's Scream 7's script and, here's everything that happens. And it's just like, but the thing is like some people will look at it and go like, these people are credible, right? They predicted these things right. And it's like, yeah, like I predicted stuff right in Scream 5 and Scream 6. But I'm not an insider. I'm not a reporter. I'm not some guy. I've had people come and share information with me and give me information and evidence and stuff, right? Like you do this long enough, you're gonna have people that will kind of tell you things that, like general people aren't gonna just get. But even then, I always say like, hey, I'm sharing this with you, but, take it with a grain of salt. This was relayed to me. I don't know how true it is, right? Like, it's just, if you throw enough stuff at the wall, things are going to stick, right? And my thing is that if you've watched the Scream movies and franchise, or just horror in general, right? If you've watched enough horror movies, you can kind of navigate how a horror film is going to go, right? Like, Scream 6, I mapped out a lot of Scream 6. Scream 5, I mapped out a lot of Scream 5. Just piecing together things here and there, like, hey, this is how it's going to go, right? And, and then there was stuff that, of course, I got wrong. But the point is, and the reason I mentioned that is because, again, I'm just a guy, just like you. I'm just a fan that enjoys talking about Scream, that's blessed enough to have an audience that wants to listen, right? Like, I'm not some insider. I'm not on the set. I don't have a cousin's nephew's uncle that, is working sound or something. Like, no, I'm just a guy that's just making fun videos that are just to stir conversation and, hype and excitement for the film, right? Like, it's just all in good fun. At the end of the day, this is YouTube. It's entertainment, right? It's to create conversations. It's to just have fun. And that's what this is. And a lot of people enjoy it. But I also don't want people taking everything as fact. Now, when there's actual news, and I share the news, I say, hey, we got news that this happened and blah, 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 right? Like, I make it clear. So just don't take everything at face value because, again, even if just educated guesses are more often than not going to be right because they're through education. It's through an understanding, right? Like, I know that Scream 6 is going to flow a certain way. Scream 6 is going to happen a certain way, right? So to say, there, things like, there's reports Gale's going to have an epic chase scene, right? Like, well, history of Scream will tell you that that's going to happen, right? And so when it does happen, it's like, oh, wow, fate was right. And it's like, well, no, it's just, you watch every Scream movie Gale has been in, they've almost all, have had a Gale chase scene or a sequence where Gale gets attacked, right? So, like, for me to just throw out a blanket statement of like, like, yeah, how true is that? Is that just something where I just threw that out and and passed it off as like, oh, this is going to happen? Or did I really actually get information? Did I actually see it on set? Did I actually, was I relayed that information and shared it, right? Like, it's just, again, it's just, there's honest and then there's, questionability. And, again, I don't know who's real. I don't know who has, actual inside information. I don't know who has, a brother working on set or whatever, right? Like, and I'm not telling you who's right or wrong. I don't know. Maybe they do start in January, right? Maybe it's not in January, right? Maybe it is in December. I don't know. Somebody's going to be wrong. Somebody's wrong. Somebody got wrong information because both sides are saying that they we're told by people on set. So somebody's insider is wrong because, you can't start in January and also start in December. So which is it, right? So again, somebody is wrong. Which side is wrong, I don't know, because again, I'm not an insider. I just wanted to make this video and kind of go over this stuff because I do think it's important for just people to understand and kind of see, right? Because not everyone sees both sides. People only see, that like I said, the Spain news and not the Daniel news, and vice versa, or just Daniel news, not the Spain news, right? Like, so to me, it's just like, I just want people to understand, because again, like, there are people, some of these people have had spot on, like, to the point thing, right? Like, and that's great. No viewer or not, right? Like, again, same thing. He's had some great, been spot on a lot of stuff, right? But he's also been wrong on some stuff. And to his credit, he'll usually say, hey, I got this wrong, or, I was told wrong, or that changed. Sometimes things just change too, right? Like, that's something to keep in mind also, like, maybe it is December, but oh no, it really is now January, right? And maybe the person that, called up and, hey, I'm hearing that it's January. Is that true? No, it's not true. It's still in December. And then they end up getting the news that's like, oh no, I guess it did get moved to January. Now that person's got to come on and go, oh no, it's in January, right? Like, again, things change, right? Scripts change. All of it changes, right? Scream especially. Scream is notorious for, like, filming scenes that, like, don't make the movie just because they want to mislead and not have things get leaked and spoiled. So just stuff to keep in mind again. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel, what are your thoughts? Agree with my points? Disagree with my points? Like I said, just always fun conversations. That's all. That's all it's about for me. But love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.